Okay, so now we're going to create a services section. So this is pretty much where on the homepage we would like to draw people's attention to what services are offered. Now the hierarchy of this needs to be quite equal, to be honest, because the next thing on our homepage, which as you can see becomes a bit of a content section like the beginning of a book, is that we want people to find the different services that are offered with this business. So there might be 2 to 3 at least main services that are offered, and we would want the customers, the people viewing the website, to see what they are after rather quickly. We don't want them to be hunting forever because they will get bored and they'll go somewhere else. They don't want to scroll. So the next section we're going to build is for the services to be presented with equal hierarchy so that the website viewer can quickly see what they are after and click through. So again, we're going to not get design awards for this, but we'll keep things quite simple. And of course, there's more on my channel about how to up the design factor. So what we essentially need is 3 boxes across the page with service information. So we click on that button there just to add a new section. And then on this one, it would make sense to have 3 columns. So we'll click on that and you can see that we've got the section already created. That's fantastic. It's not full width. We'll want to do that. So let's make it full width. Let's give it a minimum height of 400. That's great to work with. And then we have the 3 columns here. The other thing I'll quickly do now is just adjust the padding so that we've got it. Remember, padding, not margin. And so we just want the top and the bottom padding to be 60. I would say always keep that consistent so that it's a consistent degree of white space between different sections. So everyone expects what space should be there between elements. Just to say, don't forget to click the links there so that you can alter those on their own. Okay, so here we are. We've got a new section. What can we do with it? Well, we're going to have our different services in each of these. So we would like an image. We would also like a heading. So we'll just put that down there. And then we would like a little bit of text just to give further information. And then what we're going to need also is a button. So let's put that there. Okay, so those are the basic elements of it. And we're going to want to repeat this across the columns. But first of all, let's make one that we're really, really proud of. Okay, so let's click on the image. And I have the fact that I can just create services now. I'm not doing this to spec or anything. So we're going to do this one here as private yoga. No, that one. And insert. Notice this is a bit big in terms of displaying here. But the file size is quite small, and on another page we might want to use this image in a bigger way, but I can bring it down to 768, and that's going to bring down the weight a little bit. I'm going to want to center align it, should that ever matter. And so we've got the image there. We now need to turn our attention to the text, the heading. So it's a H2 at the moment, and I want it to be H4, so a lot smaller. And then we want to do that. So what would it be? Private yoga works well. I will leave the lorem ipsum text there, but it would be something like enjoy your own one-to-one session, blah, 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 blah. Very small. And then we have the button here, which obviously this doesn't look good. It's not consistent with our style. I'm just going to save that before I show you something. If we go to our customization options and go into general, you'll find that we have buttons here. Now we've got buttons, so the minimum height and the hover effect. So if we go to design, then we have the background color, and often we can have a button here. And so if I show you that in the heading, again, don't do this, we're not there yet. And I drag this button over here. You see that defines that button style there. And so that would happen if we created a button somewhere else using the theme. And so if I just come on back here, we don't need to use that. So if I nip along to site settings and then buttons, Here we have, look at this. Oh, we've got the color. Okay, but we can set this to what we'd like. Let's select that. And for the hover, we're going to select one of our other theme colors. So let's select that. Okay. And we can make it bold, you know, whatever. That's cool. So I'm going to update there. Now, if I was to create another button over here, I'm going to close site settings. Yank another button. Anywhere. You see that it follows those presets. Just wanted to show you again that we can, if it so matters to us, we can set those presets and it just makes designing easier. That being said, I'm not really a fan of this one. I would like to use something more like this. Now, there are two ways to do that. Watch this. I can right click this and copy and then paste style. So right click, paste style. And you see that we've got click here. It's taken away the background and that looks pretty cool. And then I can change this to find out more. Okay, that's cool. I can add an icon if I wish. The other thing I can do obviously is copy it and then paste. So look at that. Then we've got a button exactly like that one. So consistent design. And then I can change the text if I need or add a link. You know, I could go about, you know, or services, something like that. Okay, why don't we do that? Sorted. I actually like it for this without the arrow. So I'm going to do that. Links to services. Okay, I pretty much like that. That is, you know, we're going to keep this quite simple. Now, I personally, I think sometimes centering text can look quite amateurish. It doesn't make it more readable, so it's not as great a user experience. I would lean towards doing something like, towards doing something like this. So this is all left aligned. It's very readable and very nice. And then we've got the read more, and maybe the arrow there would work a bit more there. But we're just going to keep this nice and simple. I'm going to leave it like that for the minute. And let's go to style for the column and sort out a bit of a background. Now there are a few ways we can do this. Sometimes putting too much color in there can just make it look quite amateurish and a bit too much, to be honest. Okay, so I'm not totally sold on this. I would prefer maybe something like a background, but a color, and for this to be more white. And so actually I will do that. I was going to say you make your own design decisions, and I'll move onwards, but let's just quickly do something here. I think I just want a subtle change like that, and then change the column color to be white. I think that will do for the minute. And then what we'll do is border radius. You can just end up going anywhere with all of this. You see that's just bringing in the border radius there to 20. I need to keep this tutorial a bit more sharp, so I'm going to stop faffing around with things that are subjective. I say that, but I can't help but just do this and that one, and now we've got a bit of a nicer shape there. Okay, the last thing I'll do, just because I'm being an idiot, is bung on a box shadow and change the color of this to something a bit more subtle in keeping. Oh, that's the one I used. Oh, you see how that's just too much. It doesn't work. It's in our palette, but it doesn't work. And I just want a subtle change so that it changes the background there. There. All right. I'm a bit happy with that. Okay, so it's very non-invasive. It's very subtle. And I think that can often look best. Okay, so I hope I didn't rush forwards too much there, but you understand how to create the column, and then you can see how easy it is to faff around with your design decisions. So we would like to duplicate this. We're quite happy with it. It's quite nice. And we want to have 2 more of these. So the way we can do that is go to the column, right click, and then just click duplicate. And then we can right click here and go delete, and then repeat that process. Delete. We now have 3 columns. They are all looking pretty nice. We would like some space between them though. So what would we do? All right, let's see if section options can offer anything. If we go to layout, we have column position. Oh, that's middle. That doesn't help. Columns gap extended. Nope, not really. That is kind of supposed to. We've got the content width not helping. If we go to full width, no, that's not good. Okay, so this is supposed to create a bit of column gap between the sections. Doesn't really end up doing that. So what we're going to do is increase the margin a little bit, 10 pixels, and we could do that for each of these columns, but what we're going to do now is copy and then paste style, much like the button. Okay, next we'll increase the column width. Oh. Cool. Now that looks fine enough, and it's as much as I need to go into now, but you can see that you can get some really nice effects here. The last thing I'll do is show you that if you click on the column and then onto style, we're on columns, we can change the hover options, and so I think that would look quite good. So if I go to border and we're in box shadow and I go to hover, I would go to box shadow and increase that a bit. And you can see it just adds a little bit of a, oh, we're on this, oh, that's too much. So on hover, we have a bit of an added effect, which looks quite nice. I quite like that. I would like that on the other ones. So I'm going to copy and paste style. The last thing we need to do is make these suit the various services. We can't offer private yoga, private yoga, private yoga. So we're going to click onto the image, change the image. What will we do? We'll do group yoga and change the heading. Group yoga. And then obviously if we had a separate services page, which we won't on this build, but I will show you how to do that in future videos, we would then want to link to specific pages, but as it is, all of these will link to the services page. Let's change this one. Outdoor yoga. Fantastic. Cool. Now we have a bit of a pickle here, don't we? Because we've got a bit of a different image size, which is not cool. So how can we overcome that? Well, we can start playing around with things. So if we make that 200, it's warping it. So what we want to do is cover it, a bit like we did with the background image. We then maybe need to try that with these as well. So what we'll do is copy and paste style. And it's more with this one, paste style. And that looks like everything's quite nice and uniform now. So that's really cool. So you define the height. All of this is working with padding and things anyway. And then you define the height and click cover. And that's just going to help you keep it all nice and uniform, which is great. And look at that. We've got this pretty nice hover effect there over the different services. We could obviously change, give this a hover as well. You know how to do that now. I will not do that. I will not get carried away and start doing that with you now. But something I would quickly like to do is just add, so that there's consistent design, a border radius to this. I don't remember what the radius was for this. I think it was 20. We're going to add that here just so there's a consistent vibe across the site. It's just one of those little bitty things. Okay, so let's look at how we're going with this. Let's get rid of my face. Boosh. This is the website so far. It's looking pretty lovely. It's a simple website, but it's functional and it's beautiful, and it takes people where they need to go, and with a little bit of flash as well. Look at that. So that's great. The last thing that we're going to need on this homepage before we do something like a simple call to action contact form is something like testimonials. So it'd be nice to just put a couple of testimonials there so that we can get that social trust and see that this yoga instructor knows what they're on about. And that would be important for your business also, because obviously the first thing people are looking for is that a business is vouched for. I don't know about you, but I don't buy anything on Amazon without reading the reviews, and it's much the same when people are looking at your business website. Okay, so we'll get onto that next. Hey there, it's Chris here. Thanks for watching the video. Please do like and subscribe and share and comment if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next course video.